Hey everyone, what's going on? Dave Kettner here. Today is March 30th, 2023, and I have some things I want to share with you today regarding things that happened in the news, actually, some reports that happened earlier this week, and it is all about the concern of what I've been talking here about the US dollar and this banking crisis that we see, the inflation, and really a perfect storm that could be happening. I'm going to share a couple of clips that I think you would find very interesting, and also the reason why I've been telling you about getting your money into a safe haven, into a place where you actually are protected against inflation, and you can actually be on the silver platform instead of a US dollar platform. I'll tell you a little bit more here in a little bit, but let me switch over to my computer. I want to show you actually the price of silver did really well today. As you see right there, it was at 24.04 and just over that actually, and it went up another almost 2.5%. So as I've been sharing with you in these videos, it consistently, the price of silver keeps on going up. And that is a good thing for those of us that have silver. And do realize, those of you guys that are not in silver yet, that this is still extraordinary cheap. So you guys, when you start seeing this go up, you're like, oh, I missed the boat. I'm telling you, I see this consistently going up over time. Silver has been undervalued for quite some time. So is gold. Precious metals has been undervalued, and I can see this continually go up. Now, as we continue to see problems with the US dollar, we can continue to see problems with inflation. We should see precious metals continue to go up, and that includes silver. All right, I want to switch over to this video. I want to show you this report. This came from the president of Kenya. All right, so this is the video of the Kenyan president giving a warning about the US dollar. Let's listen, it's 20 seconds long.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
So he's saying that this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks. Now, that's pretty scary, especially since this was a few days ago that he said this, and he's warning his people of his country because he sees the writing on the wall, all right? Now, this was actually a video from Fox News. It was from the 27th, so this came from just a few days ago, and I want you to hear a few minutes of this, and I'll actually include a clip, a link of this to this clip if you want to listen to more of it. Let's listen to what they have to say here.
Putin announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they're in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the US dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the US dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there's a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system, but certainly the American economic system. And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation. If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our superpower status.
I'm actually going to stop it right there, and that's pretty scary, right? Because they're talking about, Monica Crowley here is talking about the perfect storm. No, she talked about that we used to be based on gold. The U.S. dollar was based on gold, and that changed in 1971 when Richard Nixon took us off as an emergency. It was an emergency declaration to take us off the gold standard, and now, over 50 years later, we are still in that emergency. It hasn't changed. And because of the dollar just continue to be printed and the money that we've been spending, just everything that's been going on in the world, it's caused the inflation. It's caused the dollar to be worth less and less. And now we're really in this predicament right now of the U.S. dollar not going to be used anymore, or possibly not going to be used anymore for what it was made for. That was the fiat dollar that was made for oil, right? It was commonly used for, it's called the petrodollar. Well, we already see now in Europe that countries are pulling away from that. They're not even using the dollar anymore. And as you heard here, the perfect storm would be Saudi Arabia decides that they're not going to it. And then all of a sudden, she said, super inflation of the likes we had never seen before. That's scary, right? So this is right around the corner. We see this coming, as I've been sharing with you guys in my videos, that we see this happening. We see the banking system collapsing, and we're not going to listen to the people on the news that keep saying, everything's fine, don't worry, you're going to be distant. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't trust them. Okay, I don't trust them, so I'm going to I take matters in my own hands, and that's why I've shared with you. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you advice, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and that is moving my funds to silver, because that's where I feel that my funds are safe. That's where I feel that they will defend against inflation and any possible collapse of the U.S. dollar. Because if the dollar collapses, precious metals are going to go up. All right, so with that being said, I want you guys to make sure always do your own due diligence, do your research, go in and look at stuff. What I recommend you do is you get into Liberty Dollar. Liberty Dollar is what I've found the best way not only to buy hard assets of silver to your door, but to digitally trade it back and forth with each other, pay bills and all that. I've covered that in other videos, and I'll continue to cover it more and more. Please use the link in the description. Sign up for a Liberty Dollar account. It is free to use, and of course, you would have to put some money in there. You're buying silver with your US dollar, and you're putting it into your Liberty Dollar account. From there, and I showed you in the video that I did yesterday, to go take a look at it, it shows you how to move money around, how to use your silver, your money that's based on silver. I actually sent it to a friend yesterday, sent him some money. Now he has silver in his account. Guess what? The money I sent him yesterday already gained 2.5% since yesterday. He's very happy because I had him open the account, and I gave him that money. Now he's very happy. That's happy. I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to be protected, knowing that your money is in silver, not in the fiat dollar, which could possibly be going away here very soon. There's warning signs. People are talking about it, but don't do anything. Just don't stand there and just be still. Don't do anything about it, because if you are not doing anything, you're not protected. So always prepare for the storm, all right? Even if you just take some of your funds, in my opinion, and like I'm doing, and then put it into silver, okay? Again, get your own advice from your, if you have a investment advisor, or, do your own research. But, this is what I'm doing, and I'm shouting out from the rooftops what we're doing here, because this could be happening very soon. And there's a reason why silver keeps going up. it's because people are people are buying silver. All right. So anyway, please do me a favor, and I hope if you enjoy this video, please like my video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to be notified as I put more videos out, click that bell button, and it'll give you notification when I'm sending out new videos. I will continue to do this. I'll continue to put my own research out to you guys so you can see what's been happening with silver, how it's held value over time against the dollar, and how it can protect you from a banking collapse that could possibly be happening. So with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening, night, day, wherever you may be, and I look forward to catching you in my next video. Until then, take care.